Now, ANZAC Day is a pretty special day because it's a day that we kind of commemorate our wonderful soldiers and service people that have past and present that served to protect our wonderful country. And the ANZAC Biscuit, obviously Australian New Zealand Army Corps. The story behind the ANZAC Biscuit, I believe, stems from the fact that, one, the biscuit lasts really well, and it's pretty basic ingredients. But I've heard that it was also, they were sent to the soldiers on the front line during the First World War, and because they were nice and flat, they could pack more into a tin. So our boys and girls on the front lines got more biscuits, which is great. But they're really simple to make. I've got a pot here, and into the pot, I'm going to put 125 grams of chopped up butter and 2 tablespoons of golden syrup, which is one of my favourite things. It's always hard to get out of the container. And we're going to heat that up and melt it. So it has to be golden syrup because it tastes wonderful. You could substitute honey, but I think golden syrup just gives a better flavour. So we're just going to mix and melt this golden syrup and butter. We don't want to boil it, we just want to melt it. And then I've got some boiling water here. I've got some desiccated coconut, 1 cup of packed soft brown sugar, baking soda, bicarbonate of soda. They can go into the flour now. And we've got our rolled oats. So once the butter is melted, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of boiling water. So we mixy. We put our sugar in, our coconut. Super easy to make. Really great for the kids, this recipe, because there's very little heat involved in it. And it's just melt, mix, ball and bake. It's that simple. Okay, now we put in our oats and finally our baking powder and flour. And all of that just gets mixed together. Now off the heat, beautiful. And you can let that cool down, and then we're going to shape it into balls and bake it. But I'm going to make ice cream sandwiches. So I'm going to just undercook the biscuits a little so they're still lovely and chewy. And then what I've done, and I'll show you later, is I've got some ice cutters with ice cream that I've filled up. So we've got round discs of ice cream. I'm going to make the biscuits around the same shape and we'll assemble them afterwards. So I'll just let this cool down, we'll go to a break and come back and make some ANZAC biscuits. So now's the time to check out lovely ANZAC biscuits. What I'm going to do, so we made those nice little balls, but I need to just push them out a little bit so they're going to be the same size as the ice cream discs that I've made. Okay, so just with the back of a spoon, I'm just going to press them out. Now the secret to an ice cream sandwich is you don't want the biscuit too crunchy. We want to just undercook them so they're ooey and gooey and soft. Just let them cool down in the tray a little bit. And then we'll take them off the tray onto a cooling rack. So they're just a little bit undercooked. And now we can repeat that process and use all of our dough up. I actually went to the War Museum in Canberra and had a look at what the old diggers used to have to eat. And they lived on sort of bully beef, like this corned beef in a can. They had these biscuits, and they used to, out of the tin, make a grater. And they used to grate the hard biscuits into water, season it, and made this bready soup out of them. It's quite disgusting. So now we put those back in. And while they're cooking, I might as well make my ice cream sandwich. Now, oh, yep, see, these are cooling down, but they're still lovely and gooey. So I'll show you what I've done with the ice cream. So what I've done is I've just taken some regular vanilla ice cream. I've got myself a cookie cutter, And I've filled the cookie cutter with the ice cream, and then you just push that out, refreeze them so we've got our lovely little discs of ice cream. So now what we do is we take one of our biscuits, flip it over, we'll take a nice disc of ice cream, and then another biscuit on top. And there we have a beautiful ice cream sandwich, a bit like the ones you used to buy when you were a kid. Now you could be respectable and use a fork, but you could be like me and just be a brute and get stuck straight in. Oh, it's so good. They're a bit messy, but as it cools down, as the ice cream cools down the biscuit, it gets crunchy, so it's gooey, crunchy, and full of ice cream. Yum. My mother said never to talk with my mouth full, but I just can't help it.